Thank you, madam, for such a wonderful introduction. First of all, namaste to everyone. I'm really thankful to conference organizer for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present my work with you all. So my topic of presentation is harnessing the potential of wild edible for sustainable agriculture, livelihood, and food security. To start with, sustainability is not new to us. Integrating ecology and culture is deeply rooted in India's culture and way of life. What the world seeks today, India has lived for centuries that has been passed down through generations. Thus, living in harmony with nature is India's timeless wisdom, ensuring health, sustainability, and overall well-being. This is reflected in our culture, our food, our medicine system, agriculture practices, and lifestyle. So if I have to talk about our religious practices, we have more than 1 lakh sacred group, which are important means of conserving biodiversity. Rajasthan is with highest number, that is 25,000, and my state Himachal Pradesh with more than 5,000. So worshipping plant is our tradition in various fair and festival. There is an upcoming festival SAR in our area where we used to worship 15 to 20 plants. And you see some of these plants, they are facing the risk of extinction. So these ladies have started growing these plants to sell these plants to the customers. Our elders strongly believed in maintaining clean water bodies and planting fruit trees along roadside and pathways, ensuring both ecological balance and nourishment for the future. If I have to talk about our way of living, we eat food in leaf plates, plant waste, we use plant waste toothbrush like Xanthoxylum vitis as a directa for natural oral care. We also use plant-derived household items for a sustainable lifestyle. Like you can see, this is a mat prepared with Hidacium spicatum leaves. And this mat is considered to have warming effect on body, and it is preferred in the winter season. Then we also believe in reduce, reuse, and recycling. Our traditional agriculture methods, such as organic farming, crop rotation, reflect sustainable approaches that align with the nature. See, this is a Beendhar village present in the remote corner of Mandi. And this Beendhar village has a unique blend of tradition and unity. Every celebration in this village is celebrated around this temple known as Brahma Mata Temple. And this is a wonderful way of utilizing resources in minimum way and utilizing them again for the next celebration. If I have to talk about food and medicine, India also has a strong history of traditional medicine, and Ayurveda is the most representative one. It emphasizes on the holistic well-being of body, mind, and soul, where diet and herbal remedies are in locus to prevent the disease present in the masses. According to the father of medicine, Hippocrates, let food be the medicine and medicine be the food. So Ayurveda believed to take food as a medicine. Ayurveda also believed that the remedies for any disease to the people of any region lies in the local flora of that region. So it's very important to know about the floral diversity around anyone. Our food used to be region, season, individual, and condition specific, where the same diet doesn't work for everyone. Means the people which live in the hilly areas, they need to take the plants which have warming effect on the body, while the people living in the plain area, they used to take the plants having the cooling effect on their body. However, with the advancement in urbanization and modernization, we are stepping toward food adulteration and homogenization. This leads to shrinking of food diversity and disease outbreak to large number of people. So the need of our is to focus on organic produce, and at present the only produce we can fully trust as genuinely organic comes from wild food plant. So from here my research field actually begins. So if we have to see the total diversity of the wild food plant, we have 250,000 flowering plants. Out of these, 20,000 plants can be used for food. And out of these, only 3,000 are exploited for the food by men till now. And out of these 3,000, again, only 150 are cultivated on commercial scale. Surprisingly, 90% of our human food comes from 20 major crops. We can calculate this if we see how much plants we are taking within a week. So there exists an enormous scope for diversification, domestication, and utilization of this plant wealth for human welfare. So my present study is based on the field study of more than 250 wild edible plants of Western Himalaya, which are documented from 500 to 5,000 meter altitude. So the broad methodology of my work is I have extensive field exploration across the habitat since 2018 to 25, and it's still continue. Plant collection species identified and classified, and their documentation is done with photograph, videos, and blogs. Ethnobotanical data, semi-structured interviews and focused group discussion with tribal people, rural household, self-help group farmers, priests, local sellers, and healers were done. Then data recorded included habit, habitat, altitude, harvesting method, seasonality of availability, and their traditional use. Then we did analysis by qualitative coding of use pattern and descriptive statistic of species diversity. And finally, we prepare some value-added recipes, and these value-added recipes are distributed to the community based on their conservation. Awareness is also done by website, YouTube channel, social and print media. So these are the statics of the 240 plants. You can see herbs are dominant, followed by trees and shrubs, then ferns and mushrooms. And see, this is the dominance of families. Fabaceae is followed by Rosaceae and Asteraceae. Then we see the genera. Dioscorea is followed by Ficus, Amaranthus, and so many other. All these plants are documented in digital form in the website www Himalayan Wild Food Plants, and these are accessible to the people around the world. And this website is liked by more than 20 lakhs hits within its creation after 2019. So if we have to see the present situation, which I have observed across the Himalayas, a very small fraction of plant wealth being utilized at present, knowledge about wild edible plant being gradually lost, research attention being paid only to commercially important plants, knowledge of younger generation has become restricted to wild food plants sold in the shops due to ignorance and tough geography of Himalayas. A large number of wild edible fruits get destroyed at resource level, which can be a livelihood option and source of good health and economy for the people. If these wild edibles are sustainably harvested, value added, domesticated, and marketed, they can act as a good livelihood option for the rural community. If we have to see the global scenario, the growing population and shrinking of agriculture lands are putting immense pressure on food supply and ecosystem stability. Today, the world faces a double burden of malnutrition, nutrient deficiency in developing countries, while excess calories intake leading to obesity in the developed countries. In both cases, there is deficiency of quality nutrients. To address these challenges, researchers, scientists, agriculturists, horticulturists, and policymakers are focusing on climate resilient and sustainable food resources as the way forward. So, according to my studies, I broadly categorized medicinal wild edible plants into three main categories: wild fruits, which can be taken fresh or processed, wild vegetable, any part of the plant, and food supplement. This is a very special category, food supplement, and they are purely medicinal plant, and on the basis of their culinary tradition, they can be any part of the plant, and they can be used as a spice, as a beverage, or they can be added in small quantity to harness their medicinal value. So this is first category, wild fruits, which can be consumed fresh or processed. So this is the diversity which I have documented. And a few slides I have placed of these wild edible. See, this is Ficus auriculata, and usually it is eaten fresh whenever we are the kids. We used to take its fruit, but now at the age of this modernization and media, people never find any time to visit the natural places and cherish these fruits. But see, this fruit can be stuffed into kachoris, in paranthas, and served in various tawas to harness its rich medicinal and nutritive values. Similarly, so many fig grow here, but most of the habitants or inhabitants or the community is unaware about their rich medicinal and edible potential, and they just go based at resource level. But in ancient time, they are used by various communities at different altitude. So this is again the fruits. This is Bombec siva. These fruits are again used as a vegetable, and thanks to some of the local sellers, they harvest these from the wild habitat and sell them in local community. This is the Ficus palmata, which is still in use luxuriantly, and some people grow these plants to harness their fruits. Similarly, Azel marmols, and this is called dill in India, and this is more prominent in plain area. In higher areas, although the plants are there, but people never use it. They use it for spiritual purposes only, in spite of its rich medicinal and nutritive value. Second category is wild vegetable, which can be any part of the plant. And you see, this is Phagopyrum. It grows naturally, and it is a very good source of nutrients. You can see its nutrient profile, and it is useful for the common lifestyle diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, and it can be taken in various forms. And we also prepared value-added recipes. You can see here, these are called badiyan. This is a processed item which can be eaten round the year. Second, similarly, Erythema propicum. This is present at higher altitude, although it seems very toxic, but its roots are harvested by the people of the Himalayas and Nepals. This is a Nepali woman I met with in Rodu village of Himachal Pradesh, and she told about its edible uses. Although in Himachal also, people used to make its flour and take its chapatis. So again, they are rich in medicinal value. Harvested for their use against the pile disease. So there is diversity of the tubers. These are the wild tubers and how they can be domesticated and used. Then flower and buds, they can be the wild vegetables, and this is very important plant of Ayurveda that is called kachnar, useful for piles disease, and again you see it's rich in nutrients, and again has very economic value, also sold by the local community, and so many market products are also available there. Then bamboo shoot. They are again utilized as a vegetable and pickle, and they are supposed to be very good for the arthritis as well as joint pain. Then we have some cactus which are edible, and this is native to Himalayas, and traditionally its sweet dish is prepared in social gatherings, and it is the first dish served in various social gatherings, and it is very useful for pile or also have anti-cancerous properties. Then Aponcia, although it's naturalized here, non-native plant of Himalaya, but again a very rich in nutrients, considered as a superfood, and you can see it can be used in so many dishes. But very surprisingly, only low economically people know about its edible uses. Rest of the people, they don't know. However, I have seen many European or foreign countries cultivating it in large scale. This is second species which are documented from the higher altitude, indica. So both these can be used. This is my third category, food supplement. So you can see here, we can use these plants in small categories and prepare various recipes from these, and these include purely medicinal plant. So this is Centella asiatica, growing as a weed, very useful for the medicine of the cancers, can be taken as a juice. Then Phyllanthus neuri, it is considered as a liver tonic, and you can see its huge nutrient profile and also ingredients of various medicines. Then Xanthoxylum, it is used from ancient periods, and its stick supposed to have anti-insecticidal properties. So it is used to grind the spices traditionally, and we also take it as a toothbrush. And it can be used in culinary items in small quantity, like in chutneys and a traditional dish that is called patrodu. Then oxalis, again rich in vitamin C. These can be added in small quantity. Again, we have kalancho, very useful to cure stone problem. That's why we call it patthar chat in local dialect. So all these can be added as a value-added recipe. So I have prepared a delicacy of Mandi area, that is sepu badi. This is a very famous recipe in Mandi area, and in every social gathering, this recipe is prepared. Even the Prime Minister of India, whenever visit to our state, he talk about this recipe, and I have made its value addition by using euphorbia, heta as well as kalancho. So it's one of my patent. Wild edible plants can then further be classified into 4 other categories according to my study. First is wild edible plants which are already being marketed on commercial scale. Secondly, which are eaten and also liked by people but are not marketed on commercial scale. Third is which are rarely edible and not marketed due to lack of knowledge. And fourth category, which can be used indirectly to improve existing cultivated food plants due to their capability to withstand in adverse condition. So this is first category. You can see here, this is sold in large amount, both raw as well as processed. Then we have other Ficus palmata, as I already explained to you. Then Cordia dichotma, again very important. They are considered as seasonal delicacy with around a year. Different plants are brought to the market and sold by the rural community. This is second category, liked by people but are not marketed. So you can see this is highly cherished by the students and has rich medicinal and nutritive value, but they are not marketed. Secondly, some wild strawberries, again very important for cancer, laryngitis, but still they are not marketed. Sericium urbansi, very useful for the liver disorder. People enjoy it really, but they are not marketed. Diosporus lotus, again not marketed. Then third category, plant rarely edible and not more marketed in spite of good commercial and nutritive value. So in this category, we have the plants which are known to have high medicinal value nationally or internationally, but the local people, they are not aware about the uses and these are waste for them. So you can see Terexicum officinale, and these are the pics I have collected from the internet where they use in sandwich or the pizza, but for local use, this local person, this plant is useless, although it grows luxuriantly in Himalayas up to an altitude of 5,500 meters. Similarly, Euphorbia hirta, a very important plant considered as a superfood. You can see its nutrient profile and medicinal profile, but again, it is not used, but I'm trying to promote its use, and you can see we can prepare a buttermilk with this Euphorbia hirta, and again it is marketed at national level in India, but not in Himalayas. It is marketed as a food supplement or tawa tea because it has it is considered good for respiratory diseases, and it is also known as commonly as a asthma bead. And you know, the cities like Delhi and other which are facing the highest air pollution problem, this plant as a tea can be very beneficial. So I have prepared over 1 value-added recipes pasta with this herb. Then Artica nettle, again not very common in our area. Although some people in hilly area, they prepare its vegetable for the local use, but it is not in market. And similarly, Johnwort hypericum, known to reverse depression 60%, but still people are not very aware about its use, and it again grow luxuriantly in Himalaya. Then is the last category, plant which can be used indirectly to improve the existing cultivated food plants due to their capability to withstand in adverse conditions, because they are the plants which are unique in genes and traits which can be interested for the breeders, researcher, agriculturist, and horticulturist. And these I have documented a few. Vitis fluxus, which is known as Bombay grapes in our area. And this grape is very resilient to the heavy rain. So if we cross this with the normal grapes, we can have a resilient variety. Similarly, we have Fragaria vesica, Diosporus lotus, which is used as a rootstock for the persimmon, Trichosanthes cucumbriana, which is used to drive the varieties of Trichosanthes Cucurimiana, which are in cultivation and marketed. Then Prunus myra, it is also known as Kathedu peach in our local dialect. And it is the plant which has the fruit ripen period in autumn. Whether other fruit they ripen around the summer season or the late summer season. So if we cross these varieties, we can prolong the fruiting period. Then Phyllanthus amblica, the natural varieties, they are small in size, but they are very resilient to climate. So we can have a climate resilient varieties. Then I have again a new category, types of the plant which can be used commercially. So at present, these plants are not used in large scale commercially, but these plants can be used commercially. So first categories, which are growing luxuriantly and above ground parts are edible, so can be harvested sustainably without any fear of extinction. So that is Muraya, Kadipata, Dendrocalamus balms, Tagetes rosa, Phagopyrum, Diplasium, Origanum, Phyllanthus, Stenospora, Centilla, Morshala. Then we have other category. Plant grow luxuriantly in the wild, but their underground or reproductive parts are edible. So they need cultivation or sustainable harvesting, because if we keep on harvesting these from the natural habitat, they might face the risk of extinction. So these plants need to bring in cultivation. Then third category is plant which fetch good market value but are ignored or endangered, so need promotion or cultivation. So this is a third category, means having very high market rate but people are not aware about, so or they are endangered, so we need special efforts to promote their cultivation. So these are the category. Autoleca growing luxuriantly, can be harvested. Amrita of Ayurveda, that is Stenospora cordifolia, very important plant. During COVID, this is so helpful to get rid of COVID, especially the decoction of its stem. And see, I have also prepared some value-added recipes of giloy like this. These are the dried lentil dumpling, vadiya, locally we called idli. We used root or stem powder of this plant in the idli or in the laddus or in the noodles, siras. So I prepared so many recipes so that young people or young students can eat these. So these are the recipes which I have prepared with the self-help group to boost their earning also. Then next category, these are the plants whose either seed or the reproductive parts are edible, so they need cultivation and sustainable harvesting. And you see, this is the successful example of Sena Tora, locally called yellow, and its chutney is a seasonal delicacy for the people of our area. And with guidance, these women have started growing this plant in large scale, and they are selling its seeds round the year, and it is very good for headache, kidney disorder, as well as eye disorder or liver disorder. So this is our success story. Some plants, they are ignored or endangered, so need promotion or cultivation. So this is the mucona, you know very well, can reverse the depression, and traditionally people used to make its laddu or the bowl, which they used to eat in the winters because it has warming effect. But with passage of time, this plant has no significance for the local people, although its hybrid varieties, they are present in the market, and its hybrid variety seeds are present in the market. So I again have prepared its value-added recipes, cookies, so that student can eat, because at this time they are facing the highest depression and nervous disorder. So these are the cookies which I prepared again with the self-help group ladies. Then Angelica glauca, one of native species of Himalaya, which is facing the high risk of extinction due to its unsustainable harvesting for the medicinal purposes. So these kind of plants, they need to bring in cultivation, and this is so useful for the constipation. So we all know that we have a lot of advantages of wild food plants because they add variety, free for local people, rich in medicinal and nutritive value, are relatively hardier, more resistant to disease, insect and pest, free from use of chemical fertilizer, insecticides, and in most cases they are multi-purpose types, so having so many uses other than the food. And many of these plants, they are considered as emergency food. Means whenever COVID-like situation or the drought or heavy rainfall is there, so we can take them as a food. So this is the example of one Acaranthus known as apamarg, very important plant. Traditionally, our ancestors believe that this plant, if taken as a pudding or kheer, it can overcome the hunger for 5 days. So the monk and the fighters, they used to take it as a key. So at present it can be used to manage weight because it reduces hunger. So many amaranthus species, they are also considered as an emergency food. We all know that all these plants, they are rich in medicinal and nutritive value. For example, this is flame of forest. This can be called as an encyclopedia of medicine, and it has so many medicinal uses. And traditionally, we also used to take food in its leaves, and its leaves are good to cure diabetes. And its flower can be taken as a tea, and its gum can be used as a material for the laddus. Then Woodfordia fruticosa, known as dhave, again very useful for the gynecological disorder, but people are not using it. Again, it needs promotion. Some plants, they are used to prepare local alcoholic drinks, and these are the Angelica, Berberis, Phoenix, Terminalia, Woodfordia, Aponcia, Dioscorea, Terminalia, Gigicus. So they are considered very good to prepare local alcoholic drink. People in the rural area or tribal community, they still prepare their alcohol and use their own alcohol. Then we all know that these are very rich in food value. Sometimes they have more food value as compared to the cultivated crops. For example, moringa, this is a very good plant, which is again growing luxuriantly in our area. But to quite surprise, the young people and the present generation is not aware about its use, medicinal and edible value. This is our native species, although it's cultivated varieties all there that has broad and more long pods, but this is our native species, and I have also collected its leaves for the medicinal purposes. And you can see this can contain 17 times more calcium than milk, 25 times more iron than spinach, 9 times vitamin A than carrot, 7 times more vitamin C than orange, and 9 times more proteins than yogurt. So you can see this is very useful to cure about 300 diseases. And they also help in the culinary tourism development, because Himalayas, they are in the focus for the people around the world, and so many plants, Rosa, Indigofera, Hypericum, Myrica, Diplasium, Morchella, Punica granatum, Rhododendron, these are the center of attraction for many people. And sometimes rural community, they sell their flowers by standing around the roadside. I also have prepared value-added recipes, that is tea with the flowers, and I have filed patent for this. It is again very useful during the COVID period, have strong immunity booster. Rainwater, again a very good yellow flower, which can be taken as a chilla, parantha, etc. So this is the tourism point of view. Then these plants are also means of capacity building and entrepreneurship. Many plants, they already are marketed on the commercial level, like Morchella or Diplasium. And if we do little bit processing and value addition, their rate can be enhanced, and it is good for the local community. Similarly, yam varieties, they can be cultivated in pots and in the area which are facing the monkey mans. So this is the Dioscorea. We have prepared value-added recipes, and to share with you all these recipes which I'm sharing in this presentation are prepared by me and tasted by me and distributed to my relatives also. So this is Morchella, already in the menu of many restaurants. And value addition can offer so many opportunities, because at present they are just based at resource level, many of these plants. So for this, we need harvesting, grading, processing, packaging, and proper marketing. Then again, asparagus, I also have prepared its value-added recipes, that is noodle, along with the king of the herb, ashwagandha. So these are the plants which need little bit processing, and they can fetch good market value. Again, colocasia, yarrow, we can prepare its badiya. These are very high in demand among the tourist still area media having cooling effect on body. So the people of the warm area like MP or the other part of the world, they can harness its cooling effect by preparing such kind of value added recipes, which I have prepared with the Dioscorea species. So these can be sold around the year because they are fully processed. You know very well there are so many challenges to harvest or explore the wild edible in Himalayas because there is a gap, community gap, at higher altitude and lower altitude, people can't interact freely with each other. So they can't exchange their knowledge. Similarly, there is lack of knowledge and dearth of storage facilities, connectivity, and so we need to aware the community, develop the centralized processing units, and domesticate and sustainably harvest the plants and provide some trademark like Himachali nectar or the. So for this, we are taking so many steps. Like I go with the community, sit with the village women and aware about the medicinal plants. And I also go with the students and do training program for the students as well as to the local sellers. We also distribute the plant to the people, and we also give booklets or the study material. We also organize exhibitions, and I also circulate so many articles with the newspaper for the community awareness. And this is our regular process, and also help to promote their products by marketing or by making their blogs and sharing on various social medias. We also have grown a nursery of the plants of some rare and endangered plants, which we distribute to the community. That is not a very big nursery. We used to grow 10 to 15 plants and distribute to the people on their demand. We also go for plantation because we need to domesticate the plants. So we, along with the women, which can take care of the plants as well as utilize these plants for sustainability, we have a many cultivation program with them during Ban Mahotsav. We also distribute study material to them, as I already explained. In this year, I just go beyond and around the India, like in Mathura, UP, we have so many training programs for the farmers. These are my awareness program through the print media. This is through the social media, especially Facebook, because people in here or rural area, they are more engaged in the Facebook. So I try to keep sharing the plants or the knowledge related to plants every day or on my social media. Again, I have YouTube channel, as the madam initially told that 900. Now we have more than 1K videos on my YouTube channel. We organize exhibition at different platform, and this is our state minister who acknowledges our work. And I have displayed these photo frames in the photo art gallery, which is present in the area along Kullu Manali roadway. So that is the tourist spot for everybody. We also distribute some machinery along with the NGOs, like this is plate, leaf plate making, so that to conserve our environment. And this is a food processing unit, so as to avoid the wastage at resource level. So we all know that wild edible, they have immense potential. So we need to aware the people, aware the community, bring the youth along with this knowledge, and try to motivate them to use plant and make their some value added recipe, so that we can give a better earth or better environment for our coming generation. For this, we need sustainable utilization, capacity building, market integration, policy support, research and documentation, awareness and promotion, as well as entrepreneurship model. So the sustainable harvesting again is a need of our, and for this, we can follow the some key points which I have made, that is habitat rotation, keeping some reproductive parts on the plants, plantation, and awareness. And we are doing all this. So with this, my presentation comes to an end. Thank you so much for listening it. If you have any query, you can ask. Thank you.